Man, 6:30. You were here early, buddy. Doing the live outside tonight. Let me know if there's some wind noise or something like that. Let me kind of adjust this a little bit. I don't know why it's like kind of one-sided. Nice, there we go. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Give a little bit of time for some people to join on. Like I said, if y'all could let me know if there's any wind noise. I'm outside and it's windy. Hey, Solange. Looks good. He says Hugo. Awesome, man. Yeah, I just want to make sure because it's kind of breezy. I don't know how good this thing picks up that wind or not, but yeah, I figured I'd switch it up and go live from outside tonight. Awesome, Hugo. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You hear the bird, I'm sure still. That bird, you can hear that bird through anything. Yeah, man, it did. It rained pretty good up here for a good chunk of the day. Gary Ward, what's up? Hey, y'all from South Carolina. Hope wifey's feeling better. Yeah, she is. Thanks for asking, buddy. Yeah, she's doing better. Hey, Heath. Thanks for being here, man. Brad Yates, Owensboro, Kentucky here. What's going on, Brad? Thanks for being here. Earl, what's up, man? Just now raining here, yeah. Yeah, down that way, I'm sure I think it's supposed to rain more that way, too. Solange says there was 1 to 3 gallons of rain here. Yeah, it was a lot of rain. Slab Buster, there he is. Thanks for being here, buddy. Yeah, so, hey, Paul. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone on here is doing well tonight. Sorry, I want to apologize, first of all, for being kind of wishy-washy with these lives, but it's been kind of tricky lately, just with scheduling and just I'm not gonna get into the debate on whether you should get it or not, but me and the wife both got our vaccines. She got hers over the weekend and she felt bad yesterday, and that was kind of that was kind of the why I wasn't able to go live yesterday and had to take care of little man. And the week before, I got my final vaccine on that Sunday. So the next day, Monday, I felt horrible. I don't know if y'all are planning on getting that or not, but if you are, just expect to feel bad, especially after that second shot. If you get the not the one-shot one, that second shot will get you, and that first one sometimes is kind of rough too. Mel Cow, MW, hello, thanks for being here. Slab says rain. Oh, been dry over this way. Y'all need some rain over that way, don't you, Slab? Yeah, or I was telling him, I was telling Slab that it's been raining over here pretty good. Finally stopped. But I looked at the forecast. I don't know if y'all have looked at the forecast, but it's supposed to rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Hold on. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's supposed to rain 5 days next week. And it's like 60 and 70% chances. So, and usually when it's that high, this far out, it's going to end up raining. So, looks like we got a whole another week of it. My weather bugs alert me right now saying lightning. Hugo, yeah, the first one had my joints aching. Got my second one next week. Nice, man. Yeah, so just definitely, from my experience, that second one was way worse. That second one was way worse. Just not trying to scare you, just trying to give you a heads up, buddy. Raul, thanks for being here, man. Got my feet wet. Couldn't catch the crappie. Only 6 crappie, 6 white bass. Oh, man. If you're fishing over there where I think you are, I'm not sure how long that bite's going to last over there, buddy. They probably are getting ready to move out to deeper water. Slowly but surely. I'm out here right now, and it's kind of chilly. That north wind, it's chilly. I don't know what the degrees is here, but it's pretty cool. Addicted to hunting. Won't stop raining here. North Louisiana fish are gonna drown. LOL. We're right there with you, man. Thanks for being here, by the way. Tina Ladybug, good evening. Thank you for taking the time and being here, Tina. I appreciate it. Native says it's flooded here in Mesquite. Yeah, I live pretty close to the Trinity, and it is way out of its banks. Way out of its banks. There's some parks over here that are usually like jogging trails and things like that, and it's all underwater. So combined with, we got lakes that are full and they're dumping water, and then we get a big rain, it just all gathers up in the river and it really floods it. Paul said it's raining there now. Yeah. Gary, make sure I'm working or at work when you do your live feeds, because I don't have internet at the house. Oh man, for sure. I'm guessing it's at the same time every day, because I switched it up days today, and you're on here, so I'm glad that it worked out, Gary. I really am. Slab can't fish out the boat. It's for taking people to higher ground. No kidding, man. Trying to see over here. There's like, it's funny. I'm just noticing. There's like actual stains in the grass at this little park or grass area right here, from where the water is just sitting. It's just killing the grass. Can't drain out. It don't have time. Tina Ladybug, a lot of rain here in East Texas. Yep. Y'all are getting even more than we are here for sure. Hugo, our lakes down here are full. Gates are open. Hoping things don't get too wild. Went to the lake this past week and got like 50 crappies. Only 10 were keepers. Oh man. Yeah, Hugo, that rain and those gates being open will mess with that bite. I really like, to an extent of course, but I do like the lakes being high or flooded this time of year, because those fish, they're gonna do a certain thing, and you're only gonna be able to get kayaks in there. Ramps are gonna be shut down. I can just launch from the kayak from the parking lot, drop in there and go fish them spots and do real well. But there seems like they're pulling it out quicker than it's coming in this year, so we'll see. Solange says, like this live or she will have all your Oreos. David Keith, hello from Indiana. Thanks for being here, David. I appreciate it. Paul, Sam Rayburn is super high. Man, I bet it is. Raul, just leave there. The bite was slow. Well, you know, I was using the wrong jigs. Sorry, it is not my day. I should catch a limit. Oh man, Raul, that's how it is. Sometimes it don't matter what jigs you're using. Sometimes it's just the fish just aren't there. They're not active. Things like that. Don't be too hard on yourself, buddy. You'll get them. Vicky, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope to see Fredo on here too. Hopefully Fredo's doing well also. David Keith, our crappie haven't spawned yet because it's still winter here in Indiana. Water temp only 58. Wow, David, that's just crazy to me. Them fish are about done down here. It's pretty amazing how far, how different things are and all that. Yeah, we're doing better, Vicky. Thank you so much. Slab. I can hear the cars going through the water there, kid. Yep, there's standing water on the road still. My allergies are killing me today. Got a sinus problem stuff going on this morning. You'd think the rain would help, but it doesn't. Oh, bye Solange. Hope you get to come back. I got people looking at me over here, just talking to my phone on here. People think I'm crazy. Hugo, yeah, I looked all over and only found baby schools on brush piles. They were packed, but just babies. Yep. And that's what I've been seeing, and that's what I've been hearing is the case, Hugo. And that is because the fish are still spawning, a lot of them. They're wrapping up, and there are some, let me rephrase that. Those piles that you're probably looking at, those are probably piles that are going to heat up a little bit later, but those fish just haven't pushed out, and I tell you, it just hasn't been warm enough. It just has not been warm enough. Like today, that it's pretty cool today. Mike Derman, what's up from South Carolina? What's going on, Mike? Thanks for being here, buddy. Slab, we had floods last year here at the first of the year. Lake was up and down, ruined the crappie bite, man. Slab, I tell you, it seems like, now I'm not knocking it. I'd rather have flooded lakes than no water in the lakes for sure. But it seems like the last 3 to 4 years in the spring we've had floods here. I know my home lake's been high. I mean, it might even be longer than that. But I know one time my home lake got 26 foot high. They were worried it was gonna go over. I can't remember if they was worried it was gonna go over or if it did go over the emergency spillway. And that was like the first time, I think, in the time, or the first or second time that it's ever done that since the lake was built. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, Vicky, for sure. Picking and fishing. What's going on, buddy? Robert Hernandez, yep, tiny crappie at Grapevine. They are aggressive though. Yep, Robert, those fish are still spawning at Grapevine. Them fish are up shallow spawning. I'm not sure where exactly you're fishing, but I'd be looking. Those rock ledges out there should have some fish somewhere. Roger, what's going on? Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Y'all, if y'all, would be sure to hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying this, and let me know you enjoy this as well. I'd appreciate that. Raul, is one of those days, man, when you know you can do better. I'm happy to see you back. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been having a few of those days myself lately. I've been struggling with like trying to find patterns, and trying to find patterns and just kind of stumbling on them, like the tail end of them, like with that last video with those fish spawning on that timber. I was not expecting, this time last year, those fish were done. Them fish were out on the brush piles, and they weren't there this year. And that kind of tells me in my mind, okay, apply that to every other lake, because that's going across the board. These lakes are all pretty close, so that is going to go, that can be applied to other lakes. So I'm thinking like lakes like Grapevine, those are late lakes anyway. So they're going to be even later. So those fish right now are, I would assume they're pretty full-blown spawn. There's going to be some done. There's going to be some not even started yet. But those fish on Grapevine in particular, they'll spawn into June. And then Louisville, I don't have no idea what those fish are doing on Louisville. I'll be honest. Hugo, that's what I figured. And I messaged your wifey too, and she didn't reply. Oh, no, man. Yeah, she was feeling pretty bad. Vicky, hi Roger. Gary, will crappie lay eggs on granite rock, like up under a bridge or alongside of the road? They will, and that kind of, I'll kind of go in, spin off on that. It's a good question. So right now, like those fish in that last video, those fish were spawning deep. What I would consider deep. When you think of fish spawning, you think of fish in a foot or two of water, real shallow water, and you'll catch them spawning. But they don't always do that, and typically later in the year you go, the deeper they'll spawn out, because that water's warmed up. So the deeper that water, they can get away with that deeper water because it's warmer now. So they'll spawn a lot deeper typically. Hold on, let me go up. And like for me, like they'll spawn on timber, they'll spawn on underwater points, rock piles, just ledges, things like that. They will spawn on right now. Timber being a big key, because they can spawn on the tops of those trees. That tree can be, like this. Here's the water line. It's 20 foot deep, but right here it's 8 foot deep. There's a couple limbs that come up, like that. They'll spawn right on the top of those limbs, especially if the water's kind of clear. Addicted to hunt, lots of stained water here. What's your go-to jig color for stained water? Addicted to hunting, I would say favorite, if it's super stained, almost muddy, I like white, solid white. That's kind of my my bread and butter when it comes to muddy water. I use that a lot in the creeks, fishing for sandies and hybrids when that water's chocolate milk, and it seems to do pretty good. Mossy Palmer caught a 50-pound blue and 2 5-pound blue catfish too. Caught them out of the mouth of Relic Creek. Nice, man. That's awesome. Those are some big fish. Slab bite has been on fire when the lake settles down. It's great. Yep. It'll take some time, but it will get there. Roger hanging in there, scheduled for surgery next Tuesday. Oh no, Vicky. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully everything's okay. My wife had her surgery not too long ago. Yeah, hate to hear that, Vicky. I know things will go good though. You have nothing to worry about. In good hands, everything will work itself out for sure. Jeffrey Doyle, what's going on? What are your top 5 baits this last winter? Jeffrey, I've used, I'd say feather jig, like a hand-tied feather jig, and I've been using crappie killers a lot. From the Kid Creek box, I'm trying to think of some colors. The blue and chartreuse was good. Monkey milk was good. That you know, that stuff's that works. It worked for me, so. Oh, I got lost. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, Vicky, everything's gonna be good, just like Roger said. Yeah, where's Fredo? I hope he's doing okay. Oh, on here? Okay, yeah. I didn't even... I switched. I didn't even look at it again after that. She took a nap, and Chuck Smith probably didn't do that good in the lake I live on this year in Florida. Oh, no, Chuck. It's been a weird year. Been a weird spring for sure. Roger, hey, buddy. I was on my paddleboard. Saw a lot of gar and carp spawning on the rocks. Huge gar and carps gave me the free rides. There you go, man. I tell you, man, that's where the catfish are, Roger. Vicky, have you ever heard of a 19 millimeter kidney stone with more in my kidney? Ooh, I have not. I passed some kidney stones a few years now. That's probably 2 or 3 years ago now, and that was not fun. And I don't think mine were very big at all. Yeah, those are rough. Those are rough. Hopefully they get that taken care of, and hopefully they don't come back. I know sometimes those can come back. Hopefully they don't. Those are rough. Robert Hernandez, is crappie or grapevine are hitting my rooster tail. Yep, when they're up spawning and they're shallow and aggressive, they'll hit rooster tails pretty good. Oh yeah, thanks Hugo. We are too. She still feels a little under the weather today, but not nowhere near like yesterday. Slab, I'm glad you're better, but I don't trust anything government has something to do with, no matter who is. Yeah, I hear you, man. You know, we just, you know, decided that's best for our situation. You know, like we've gotten vaccines as, you know, way before, you know, everyone on here has gotten vaccines in the past and they're fine. And, you know, that's probably a big reason why, you know, everyone's fine and healthy on here. And yeah, you know, we just made that decision. And I would love to get, I really want to try and fish. Let me see, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I feel like that's too far that way, but then that's too close. I really want to try and get to fish with more people, and that's a big reason I don't, is because of everything going on. You know, I got to think of little man, my wife's high risk, and so I got the shots. That way I can, you know, protect myself as much as I can, and hopefully I can get out there and start fishing with some people and you know, have more of a peace of mind. Jeffrey, do you think overfishing and new fishermen from last year made this year harder? Jeffrey, that's a good question. I will say I think that does have a lot to do with it. But there's a saying, you know, what is it? 90% of the 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish, and I really believe that's true. There's been times I've been out fishing, and there is especially when I had the tube and the one man, I'd go fish a bridge and there'd be people on every single pillar. But I'd go through there, I'd never see anyone catch a fish, and I'm over here just catching them one after another. It just doesn't necessarily mean more people on the water doesn't mean more fish being caught. So it's weird how that is. But definitely just the pressure and just the amount of people, couldn't have helped. Slab, got my flu shot, was 97. I got sick as a dog 3 days later, no more for me. Yep. Yeah, that was me too. And once, little man came into the picture, I had to get that. I want to try and protect him as much as I can. Stephen Hawkins, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Hello all. I think the storms have passed. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, I think they have too. I hope everyone's doing well from those. And I know we had some tornadoes and some hail, so hopefully everyone's doing good. Roger, do you think it's good for dock shooting, and what is the best way to choose a dock? Thanks. Roger, yeah. Dock shooting is still going. I will say, from what I can tell, is it seems like it's dropping off a little. I haven't seen as many posts, but you can still catch fish on them. I'd look for docks. It's been so long since I did it. I would say at least 5-6 foot out to as deep as you can find, Roger. And I like the docks. The bigger the docks, the better, because it puts off more shade. Especially with docks that have big platforms, big decks on them, like where people have parties and get-togethers and things like that. I like to shoot right underneath those because that's the darkest water. And typically that's where they're at. If you can find a big dock with a big platform and it's got some depth, at least 5-6 foot, shoot right underneath that platform, you'll catch some fish for sure. Robert Hernandez, what do you think these reasons are doing to the fishing? Everyone, grapevine floods. Seems like the bite shuts down for about a week. What do you think the rains are doing? Yeah, Robert, that's the thing. Grapevine's a really weird lake. Grapevine fluctuates so much. And I'll tell you, I believe the last 3 or 4 years in the spring, it has been high to some extent. It's been flooded to some extent. And I know there's a ton of shad and bait in that lake right now. And it's been like that for years, because when it's high and the fish spawn, and the same for crappie, I think that might be what we're getting ready to have this year. Some years there's more little ones than others, and some years they're just all big. And I think it's sick. Cycles in nature. It's high year, low year, certain class of fish get certain size in a certain amount of time, and we'll have to see how this year pans out. I haven't fished grapevine at all this spring. I don't plan to for a while. It's just too early. Those fish are spawning still, and it's tough for spawn. But so, like, when all that happens and those fish have all that cover, that flooded vegetation, flooded trees to hide in after they spawn, the fry do, there's a high survival rate. And a lot of times, like, that's why the bait's been so heavy in there the last few years. And a crappie will do good. There'll be a lot of little fish, and that's because that class of fish survived really well with the floods, and they're just growing up. But those little fish will get bigger eventually, so it just takes some time. Yeah, for sure, Slab. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Ricky Huff, thanks for being here. How many years you been fishing? You got it dialed in. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been fishing as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. So roughly, I'd say at least probably 15, 20 years. Slab, glad y'all got out okay. Hope nobody gets hurt in those storms. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I think we're good for now. I don't know what's like I said, next week I think we're supposed to get more rain, but we'll have to see. Josh Watkins, what's going on? You don't think they are around docks year round? Yeah, Josh, they are. Like for me, it's a lot harder to go out and find fish because it limits the amount of docks that hold fish in the summer, because water's so hot, they have to have so much depth. And a lot of the docks just aren't that deep. And then like I had slips for the longest, and after about May, June, Now, the one year the lake flooded to 26 foot, those marinas were loaded, and that's because there was nothing else they could get around. All the brush piles and rocks and all that were so deep, it just threw them off, so they went to that marina and suspended, and they could go up and down with the water. But I got lost. But they are around docks. It's to the point to where it's just kind of finding a needle in a haystack, so to speak. Right now, in April, when them fish are spawning and just getting done spawning, it's so easy to find fish on docks. Not to say it can't be done any other time of year, but I just don't even mess with it after a certain point. In the winter, it can be good. Marinas, and I'm speaking of like boat docks, like Cedar Creek, like Palestine, Fork. Marinas will hold fish all year. Typically, the size goes down in the summer and goes up in the spring, winter, and fall in those marinas, but you can catch fish in there year-round. Vicky Fredo is out already. He woke up way too early today, been busy tying jigs. Oh, yeah. Been keeping busy and glad to hear. Hopefully he gets some rest. Oh, you bet, Roger. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, you too as well. We know everything will work out. It'll be all for the better for sure. Slab Buster, that Chorkey Lake over there, kid. All those docks, I'd love to hit that one. Yeah, man, that's a lot of fun over there. That kind of dock shooting, excuse me, is really fun. I wish I could do it more, but it just had to go so far. Fredo's jigs are nice. He gave me one, and I don't want to use it because I'm afraid I can lose it. Yeah, his jigs are great, Roger. Yeah, that's the thing, some of those nice, pretty jigs, it's so hard to put them in the water. That's why I tie my own. Just I can make some more if I break them off, which I will at some point. Oh, thank you, Roger. Appreciate that. Happy Mother's Day to your wife as well, buddy. Lupita, I think is her name. I hope that's right. And everyone else is on here as well. Tina, I'm not sure if she's a mom or not, but happy Mother's Day if so. Josh Watkins, I guess once it gets really warm, they need to run out deep. Yeah, to some extent, Josh, they do. It just makes them so much harder to do to find them like that. Hugo, do you do any bluegill or shellcracker fishing? Hugo, I do some bluegill fishing. Not very often, I'll be honest. It's just kind of boring to me. I have a hard time staying focused. Kind of with the catfish, the same way. I have a hard time staying, locked in and focused on that. So, but I have done it, and I do it. I just don't. Usually, when I do it, I don't really film it, just because I don't really think people want to see that. I'm not catching any monsters or anything, but I might have to try and do that, mix it up. Berto Torres, what's going on? What's up, bro? Working on getting my second COVID shot. Will you fish with me then? Oh yeah, that's the plan, Berto. I'm trying to, get all my T's crossed and my I's dotted, so I can cover all that. That way I can start fishing with more people, and I do want to. I've been basically like kind of shut off for the last year and however many months, just playing it safe and trying to do all I can. Jeffrey Doyle, so would you prefer a deeper water dock or a big dock system in shallower water? Jeffrey, I prefer a deeper dock. Even a small dock, if it's deep water, I feel like that water depth is more important than that big dock system in shallower water. Given the time of year, if right now, I'd say I kind of lean toward that shallow water, that big dock system in shallow water right now. But in the summertime, and I'd say year round, I'd prefer that deeper one than that shallower one. Josh Watkins caught a 16.25 inch on Sandlin right next to a dock in 5 foot of water 2 weeks ago. Nice, man. Sandlin is one of those lakes I want to get out to. Cypress Springs as well. Oh, it's all good, Slab. It's all good. I got you, man. Yeah, and television pilot Earl's right, dead on. He's like, he's found them in July on deeper docks, but it's much more hit or miss, and that's exactly it. They can, but it takes it from being, let's say, a lake like Cedar Creek. It takes it from being, 600 docks that hold fish. It takes that from 600 to 6 or 60 docks. It cuts the number way down of productive docks, and you're doing a lot more, especially like me. I don't have live scope or anything like that, so I'm shooting these docks trying to see if I can find them, and it just eats up more time. It makes it more hard to find, but all day then some. What's going on? Oh, no worries. Glad you're here. No, that's the other one, says Roger. Hope your wife doesn't watch this, Roger. You're going to be in trouble, buddy. Gary, will a cold or cool front coming in hurt or help the bite? It's a good question. Sorry, there's some kids over here at this park now. You might hear some screaming. I'm, especially right now, I don't think these cold fronts or anything are hurting these fish right now. These fish are so far along. I don't think it's hurting them right now. The one time I do think cold fronts hurt fish is in the spring, because these fish are wanting to move up. They want that warm water. They want that prime conditions, and when them fronts come through, it just kind of makes them wishy-washy. And I think that's why I was really struggling this year to get on them, because we've had a lot of fronts this year. And I feel like that's made these fish wishy-washy, and that will make them fish spawn deep too. Them fish get tired of dealing with those fronts coming in and out, and they'll just spawn out deeper. But right now, I don't think it's hurting these fish at all. I mean, I actually think it's kind of helping the fish, because it's kind of keeping them, especially like if you wanted to shoot docks, this cool weather is kind of keeping them fish under those docks. The only reason they leave those docks is when it gets hot and they have to leave. But if it doesn't get hot right away, they can kind of meander around a little bit longer. So, yep. Happy belated Mother's Day, everyone. Earl Ivory just started tying some new jigs, and they're awesome. Awesome, Earl. Thanks for being here, by the way, Earl Ivory. Appreciate that. Slapbuster Kid, you ever fish Sarge's Lake much? Lake Palestine, is that a long way from you? Slab, yeah, I fished it one time and caught some good fish. It's about an hour and 45 minutes away from me, Slab. Other than that, I'd be out there all the time. I'd love to go out there and shoot docks and fish that timber. It's got some good fish in it. It's just a little too far. Cedar Creek's about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. Gary, and what does the rain do to them? The rain right now isn't bothering these fish. A lot of them are pulled out into the lake, so it's not really bothering them. But in the spring, it'll muddy that water, and it takes some time for them to get clear, and it'll bite again, especially in the creeks. But right now and the rest of the year, I don't really think it's gonna. I mean, it'd take a lot of rain to really mess them up. Yeah, there are slabs. There's a lot of docks. Those boat docks over there on Palestine are way bigger than the ones on Cedar Creek. And I need to get out there. I was wanting to get out there this year, but just time restraints. I just couldn't see driving, almost 4 hours there and back in a day. Hugo, I like fishing for those hand-sized ones. They're loads of fun, especially on light gear during their spawn. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I mean, like I said, dude, I'm kind of so focused on crappie. I'm trying to learn catfish right now. That's kind of what I'm stuck on. Trying to learn catfish. Have a little bit of a video I'm put together right now. I'm trying to wait a little bit just to see if I can maybe get a better one. I'm not really liking it, so I don't know if I want to put it out, but so I'm trying to find the catfish right now. I've gotten into them enough to know that it can be fast enough action. It's almost like jig and bobber crappie fishing, so I can get into that. So I'm trying to learn that. Just taking me some time. EX8 best trash to throw in the water for crappie structure. EX8, I don't know about trash. As far as structure in general, brush, willows and basically whatever kind of tree you can find, put in there. That's what I would do. Trash, I'm not real big in putting in the water, like PVC pipes and tubes and all that. I'm not real big on that. Josh Watkins, we are moving out there soon. Hit me up. Awesome, man. Will do. Glad to hear. You're going to love it up here. There he is, North Texas fisherman Xavier. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Mark Spurgeon, what's up? Glad to see you on here too, Mark. Appreciate that. Jeffrey Doyle, do you think live scopes should be limited on some lakes to help repopulate the waters? Jeffrey, I don't necessarily think so. I would say, I think some lakes, Jeffrey, do have more pressure. Like Lake Fork is getting hammered. I know a lot of those guides have took it on themselves to kind of put some fish back that they don't have to, and I think that goes a long way over a certain amount of time. But as far as limiting it on some lakes, I don't think it would necessarily help, just because, you know, some lakes don't get any pressure. And those lakes like Fork, even if, I'm trying to think how to explain it, even if they limit it, there's going to be some people that go out there and just not do their part. So it's not like, you know, they can say, okay, this, you can go out there in your live scope today. You can't. And the other guy goes out there and limits, and this guy can't. That just, I don't think that would fly too well. But it's an interesting conversation, Jeffrey. It really is. Lisa Johnson, hey kid, receive my jigs. I love them. Thank you so much. Oh, awesome, Lisa. Thank you. I'm glad you got them. Enjoy. Mark Williams, thanks for being here, buddy. Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah, if y'all want to support the channel, you know, as always, you know, I appreciate the support, just watching the videos and the comments, interactions, being here. But if you want to support a different way, Cash App is on there. The wife put that on there, Kid Crappie. And then Super Chats as well, that goes straight to the channel. That helps a lot. I kind of, you know, I got camera with that. I really need to get another camera because I'm tired of not having the two angles. I feel like two angles would really make a big difference. So I'm gonna try and get that figured out soon. But you know, I'll support as well. You know, the last video, a couple videos back, is doing really well, and that's really helping me out, and I appreciate that. So Xavier, Doc shooting mission this weekend. Nice, man. I know you'll get on them, buddy. Gary, thanks for the info, kid. You're the man. Oh, no worries, man. You're the man. Thanks for being here. Glad to help. So I don't know why he don't fish them. He told me he don't have to find them on deeper structure. Yeah, you know, dock shooting's not easy, Slab. It's really not. Sorry, I'm moving this around. How do I say? Some don't enjoy it. Some, you know, it's a challenge. Some don't enjoy it. Just like I don't like tournament fishing. Some people enjoy it, you know. It's kind of, you know, that's how it is. Some people enjoy some things, some people don't. So I don't enjoy tournaments. A lot of people do. I enjoy dock shooting, but, you know, Chris might not, and some others might not. Josh Watkins, I want to try hunting catfish on my kayak. Never tried it. Yep, Josh, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Yep. Fredo can help with the catfish for sure. And now I've got my, you know, shot situation figured out. I'm good to go. Yeah, Chuck, Christmas trees. A lot of people sink Christmas trees. I'm not a fan of Christmas trees personally, but a lot of people do sink them, and they do hold fish. They're easy to access. Slab Buster, cedar is my favorite if you can get it for crappie habitat. Yeah, cedar's good. I love willows and bamboo. Those are my favorites. Oh, will do, Earl. Appreciate that. Sure thing. SK, there he is. What's going on, man? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yep, SK says tourney fishing is his thing. Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that do it and love it. I've done it some myself. I've done it enough to know I don't really care for it. A1 Fishing, what's going on? Glad to see you on here. Jerry Board, make sure you got some stout rod holders for kayak fishing for catfish. Oh, yeah. I got a 35-inch blue last week on mine. Nice. Yeah, I'm actually targeting channels right now, trying to figure that out with their spawn and trying to figure that out. Blues are a whole different ball game that I'm gonna have to try and figure out. It's funny how that is. I've actually caught a couple blues on jigs, which is weird lately. Timmy, I live in Irving. Slab, yeah, that's true on docks, but I bet they're loaded because nobody is doing it as much as we do here. Yeah, and it's not really as popular too on some lakes. Like there's nobody shooting docks, and then there's some lakes everyone's shooting docks. It's funny how that is. It's like some lakes get a reputation for that. Like I know lakes like Fork don't really get dock shot that much, and there's fish on docks out there and all that. Lisa, kid, have you ever fished in Heath, Texas, Rockwall, Kaufman County? Good fishing. I think I don't know about Heath per se, but I have fished Ray Hubbard and Cedar Creek quite a bit. Yeah, I want to try and learn Ray Hubbard a little more, and I plan to a little bit more this summer coming up. Yeah, EX8 blues do taste good, and that's what I love. My in-laws love them. I love them. I'm actually like wanting some right now, so I'm trying to. I caught some and gave them to my in-laws, and I got to get me some. I got to get some crappie too. I'm out of crappie too. SK's, them old cats loves them some crappie jigs. They do. Flatheads and blues especially. Zoe, thanks for being here. How many crappie have you caught recently? Not very many since the dock shooting videos, to be completely honest. I don't know if I have a number, but Slab man, every Coosa River dock gets fish. Oh yeah, I bet so. I bet so. Lisa Johnson, good fishing at Ray Hubbard too. Yep, I've done pretty good over there at Ray Hubbard. It's got some good fish in it. I just want to learn a little more. Excuse me. So it's on the list of lakes to learn. Zoe, me and Dad got 42 last time. Good fish. Nice. That's a good day. Y'all were on them. SK, the docks on my main lake are all in shallow water, but there are a couple with decent depth. I still see fish caught under them. Yep. Yeah, those deeper ones will hold them a little longer. They may be there all winter, all summer long too. Chuck Smith, here in Florida, we have a lot of lily pads and docks. Around docks makes it hard to shoot docks. Yeah. That vegetation out there holds a lot of fish in Florida. Lisa, I would love to fish with you one day. I fished Cedar Creek a lot under the 1352 bridge. Nice. Yeah, I'd love to, Lisa, for sure. I really want to try and do, eventually, I don't know when exactly, but I'd love to do some kind of like fishing with the subscriber collabs and things like that. I really would like to do that soon. Brimstone Hood, thanks for being here, bro. Just figured you were in this. Or been following you on the tube and been getting slammed by white bass and crappie these last few weeks. Been catching blues and Lake Louisville on minnows. Nice. Yeah, those blues will eat some minnows and some shad too if you get some cut shad. Timmy, I thought you lived closer. Maybe one day we can link up, kayak fish. Levon, Ray Hubbard, T-Walk. Yeah, for sure, Timmy. I'm out that way somewhat often. It's got some good fishing over at those lakes for sure. I'd love to link up one day, buddy. Mark Spurgeon, kid, I went to pick up my boat at Lake Palestine yesterday. Took it out to make sure the boat was not leaking anymore. Checked 2 points. And back in March, and the males were still on some beds. Yep. And y'all, I mean, thinking back, like this is the longest period that I've seen fish spawn. Usually they're, especially Palestine, those fish are spawning in February over there, like early February. And here it is, mid-May, and they're still spawning. It's been so prolonged with the rain and cold weather. It's just amazing. Earl, here in New York, the fishing has been slow, but I'm catching, but the water is still too cold. Yeah, I bet New York is really cold. If we're cold down here, it's got to be way colder up there. That would be, Lisa. It would be. Chuck, yes, the vegetation does. Sub A1, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. Roger says, time to go back home, buddy. Glad to see you on live. Thanks for all the information. No worries, buddy. Thanks for being here. You drive safe. EX8, you ever pay for info on fishing to make your vids? No, I don't. I know enough that I don't really have to do that. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest. But no, I know basically all I need to know. My biggest issue is time. Like I know places that I've caught them in before, so I have to go out and check. And sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I don't ever pay for information. A1, hello everyone. Slab, I'll do whatever it takes to catch them. Vertical, jigging, dock shooting, long line, whatever. I'll do it all. Don't spider rig though. Yeah, Slab, I'm with you on the spider rig. I don't really do that. I've done it before. It's just kind of, I don't know. I don't really care for it. I'm more of a, one jig, one pole type guy. But I love me some dock shooting. I say dock shooting and jig and bobber are my favorite ways. I get so tired of vertical fishing for crappie. I really do. So any way I can do it somewhat different. Casting form is pretty fun too. When you can cast out and, drag it up a ledge or something like that, that's pretty fun. SK Slab B, those stumps usually always pay off. Never have to do the docks. And I like leaving visible structures for those that don't know electronics. There you go, SK. I'm telling you, man, you might go over there and check them out. I know you do well out there on those stumps, but it's so different of a bite catch them under those docks like that. Yeah, they about pull you in the water, some of them. COVID spawn, says Chuck. What's up, bro? Mark caught 30 before the rain today. Nice, man. Yeah, that rain, I know that rain hemorrhage all down there. Zoe, what do you mostly fish for? I'm new to your channel. Oh, thank you, Zoe, for being here and being interested. So I actually fish for crappie 90% of the time. Do a little bit of white bass in the spring. I'm trying to do some channel catfish and catfish videos, but that's about it. Yeah, we call it spider rigging here. Pushing minnows, yep. And 3 gators wouldn't let me get close today. Oh, man, I know where you're at. Man, I didn't realize there was that many gators over there. That's crazy. It's a whole bunch of gators. Hopefully they weren't too big. Brimstone, you should try Clear Lake in Scott, Arkansas. I'm from Jacksonville, Arkansas, but now live in McKinney. Yeah, I want to go to Arkansas more. I fished Millwood Lake when I was really young. I think back in 08. So what is that? 13 years ago? So I was 15, I think, when I went over there to Millwood. It's pretty over there. It's almost like Louisiana, like kind of like swampy, but kind of not. It's real pretty over there. Slab, a lot of spider riggers here. Live scope is doing it away with it though. Yeah, that's live scope. It's true. That's true. Timmy, how long will they stay under the docks? They'll stay under there all year on some docks, but right now is when I'd want to go. Right now is when I feel like you'd have a better chance. Let's see. Where'd I go? A1, I want some of those big fat brim. Oh yeah. I need to do, there's some good lakes around, but God, there's just some of them are a drive. I gotta get myself to do it. Slab, well, I get tired of fishing the same way all the time. That's one of the reasons I love shooting docks. Yeah, vertical does get old, man. I'm here. That must be why we love shooting docks so much. 903, what's up, kid? Greetings from Tyler. Your video's been killing it. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here, man. SK, crappie, gators are everywhere here, and there's some big ones. Folks still go out in yaks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't have quite as many up here. Certain lakes we do. Mark says all babies 5 to 6 foot. That's still pretty big. Yeah, Mark's fishing out of a kayak, SK. Oh, thank you, Hugo. Appreciate that. Yeah, my neck's hurting. I'm like kind of hunched over here. Yeah, so, oh, well, that reminds me, I hadn't even talked about. So, the title of this, I've been seeing a lot of people lately, like on Facebook and fishing forums on the internet and stuff, and they're saying, well, the crappie I clean have eggs, so they must be spawning still. That is not the case necessarily. A lot of people don't realize, but crappie, and I would assume other fish too, crappie don't. Let me see. Not every single crappie spawns completely. So what I mean by that is some fish will spawn partially and still retain some of their eggs, and what they'll do is they'll reabsorb those eggs over time. Sometimes in June, even in July, sometimes you'll see the eggs still in the fish when you clean them, and they'll be real pale, or real hard, or real mushy. I can't remember which one it is, but those fish are reabsorbing those eggs. They're not going to spawn. So just because you're cleaning fish with eggs does not mean that them fish are spawning still. Those fish might have already spawned, and they're just not going to spawn anymore. And I think a lot of that goes. The reasons for that, I believe, are just the fish just don't feel comfortable completely, especially years. I've noticed it more when there's not good conditions. Like this year is a prime example. It's flooded and rained and it's cold and it was -6 here, in February, and it froze not too long ago, or frosted a couple weeks back. Years like that, those fish, I don't know what, they just don't, some of them just don't feel comfortable. And it seems like more of them are like that when years like this year, when there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and more fish will retain those eggs. So I'm going to keep some crappie next time I go out. And if I can catch some and clean some, I'm interested to see how many of those fish are still retaining eggs. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. I see a lot of people saying that those fish are still spawning because they have eggs, but it's just not the case. It's just not the case. Slab Buster, man, me too. It's a blast pulling flat slabs out from under a dock. It is. Man, Slab, my favorite thing about shooting docks is when you shoot that jig under that dock real good, you get a good shot, that line jumps, and then you set the hook. I love seeing that line jump. There's nothing like it, shooting that jig under there, watching it fall, and that line just jump all over the place. You got a good fish on there. Mark Spurgeon loves shooting docks on Cypress Springs. A lot of deep docks. Yeah, I've heard it's good lake. I gotta get out there. Cypress Springs is even further than Palestine, I believe. I think Cypress for me is like about 2 hours. Chuck Smith, kid, what bait do you mostly use, live bait or artificial? And do you have a mailbox for gifts to send to you? Chuck, I don't have a gift like a mailbox or anything like that. I need to get one. I'm gonna look into that and see if I can get that figured out, Chuck. But as far as what I use both live bait and artificial. I'm not one of those guys that sticks to minnows or sticks to jigs. I've fished enough in my area. It seems like you have to have both given the time of year. So I'll use jigs from about, I'd say from about October all the way through about June, I'd say. I use jigs about most of the time during those times, unless I just feel like switching it up. But typically June to September, those fish on some of the lakes around here, they get real finicky and they do not want to bite jigs. I've tried crappie nibbles, I've tried little jigs, big jigs, feather jigs, I've tried it all. Especially on my home lake, those fish get weird. They do not bite. And I've seen it over and over where I go out there with jigs, and I've even experimented. I need to do it this year too. Like I'll jig a pile first and I'll catch a fish maybe, and that's it. They quit. There's nothing else, but there's fish all over the pile. And I drop a minnow down and just one after another, boom, 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 just one after another. The same pile they didn't want jigs. So from about June to about September, I'm gonna have minnows on me all the time. That's just, it just is what it is. I've seen it too much to where it makes a big difference. Television pilot, I found another spawn spot. This will be the 4th time I've said I'm done with the spawn fish. Man, it's just going on and on, man. Just never-ending spawn. I like in the last video, I didn't even want to find those. I just stumbled on them. I was like, let me just see if there's fish still spawning over here. And sure enough, 903. I've been on them on the docks. Really, my first year shooting docks. It's addicting. Yeah, it's one of my favorite ways to catch them. That's for sure. Slab Kid docks maybe my favorite. You just got me excited. I'm ready right now. Yeah, man. Hopefully, the lakes over there get straightened out and that rain misses you and you can get out there and catch them, man. Yeah, the wife's been with me shooting docks. It's pretty. She loves it too. I miss taking her out there and having her shoot docks and catch fish with me. It was fun. There'll be probably much more rain around here. It's going to take a lot of docks out of play. Yep. And that's the thing with the rain around here. Those docks are going to be tough to shoot. Tough to shoot. Yep, Slab. That if they don't do it, they don't know what they're missing. EXA, the legals that use minnows here in California. Yeah, California's a weird state, man. I can only imagine what all the crazy laws out there are. Raul, I feel better now. I just had dinner and a cerveza. There you go, man. That'll make it be better right away. Chuck, yeah, those Bobby Garland work too. Like I said, I have both jigs and minnows on me. "903 fishing girl." Yeah, they are good out there. I need to get out that way, man. Link up with you one day. I do. It's just so far from me. That's really what's doing it. Rhino Joe, what's going on? A lot of lakes around here don't have docks. Depends on the lake. Yeah, it depends on the lake. There's a lot of lakes around here that don't have docks, but there are some that have a lot too. Earl. Television pilot. Minnows are known to the state of California to cause cancer. Everything, like everything else. Yep. That's funny. I've always thought that's funny how just that one state says that. That's funny. That's so funny how that is. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of wrap it up. Been on here about an hour. I'm gonna get in here before it gets too dark. But I want to thank everyone for being here. Again, I want to apologize for being kind of hit and miss with these lives, but you know, just things getting in the way. I'm having to switch it around. So hopefully everything's good. I'm gonna go back. Raul, it's good. So I am gonna stick to the Monday night at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's the night I'm gonna stick to. If I have to deviate from that, I'm gonna let y'all know. Like last night, it was kind of last minute, I know, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'll let y'all know. But I'm gonna try and stick with that Monday night. That's my time frame for sure. So Slab, that's what I've been doing, man. I caught 1.6 a couple weeks ago, man. It was like horsing a monster bass out with only a 6-foot rod. Yeah, especially with those limber rods, Slab. That I had a lot of comments on that video saying that I had that drag too loose and this and that, and I'm like, I'm a sporty guy. I like to keep it sporty. I want my drag loose. I want a noodle rod, and I want that little 10-inch fish to feel like a 15-incher. That's just me. I mean, maybe that's why I don't fish tournaments. I just enjoy catching fish. I enjoy keeping it sporty, you know. See you later, A1. Thanks for being here. Rhino Joe Kid. Crappie is known in the state of California to cause slab dogs. Thanks, man. Oh, there he is, Fredo. I'm just getting off here, buddy. Man. Chuck, kid, I've been subbed to you for a while. Keep us informed if you get a mailbox. Will do, Chuck. I appreciate that. And thank you for supporting me, man. I appreciate that. Everyone else that's on here as well. Thank you so much for the support. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for the support. I want to thank everyone again for the support and just on the videos. They're doing good. Got some stuff coming out. I got some plans to try and get some good videos and all that. So stay on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next Monday. Hopefully everything goes good. and we'll see y'all then. Y'all take it easy.